Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well today. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing, well, a very unusual guitar. Let's find out what's in the box and what this guitar is all about. Well, without any further ado, let's open this up and find out what's in the box. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys, here it is. First look at this guitar. Check it out. Really interesting body shape. Let's get into it and find out more about this guitar. Right, so what exactly do we have here? Well, let's take a closer look. Now, this has almost a traditional sunburst on the front face and then a big bevel, and as you guys can see, it transitions into a beautiful ash body. Ash is wonderful, as you guys know. You just get that beautiful grain, and then yeah, almost something traditional on the front, but then when you look at it all together, you can see it's a very modern look. So what exactly is this guitar? Well, this is the Cort X700 Triality. Now the name Triality just comes from the fact that this has 3 pickups. Cort also makes the Duality, which is of course just the 2 humbuckers. Now I don't think I've ever used the Fishman single coil pickup. So these are all Fishman Fluence pickups. Obviously I've used the humbuckers a ton, and one of the things I really love about them is just the dual voicing, so that you can go from modern to vintage just with, you know, a push-pull button. That's the same here, but we also get the single coils. And like I said, I don't think I've ever used the Stratocaster Fishman pickups, so that's gonna be really interesting. And other than that, yeah, you've got the ash body, the 5-piece neck, satin, roasted maple. You've got locking tuners. They're staggered in height, so that means no string trees. So yeah, they've just got a little bit lower down here, so it really, you know, has the proper tension all the way across the nut, which is really nice. So yeah, a bunch of high-end features. I'll link to it, of course, in the video description below for full specs. But that's just a quick overview of the look of the guitar, the woods that are used, the pickups that are used, and there's some really interesting switching as well, which we're going to get to in a second. All right, now there's a ton of tones on the Triality, so let's plug it in and test out some of these tones. I'm going to be plugging from the Triality into the Rev Generator 120. Here we go. All right, you guys, let's kick things off with the humbucker. As I mentioned, I'm a big fan of the Fishman Fluence pickups because they have the multiple voicings, so we're going to test that out. Everything is down for now and wide open. Let's just try with some high gain and see how that pickup sounds. Here we go. All right, yeah, there we go. So now I'm going to pull out on the volume and see what that sounds like. Here we go. We'll play the same kind of thing. Yeah, now to me that sounds much more compact and better for metal. So I'm just going to chug on a couple chords here, and I'm going to go back to normal voicing, and then I'm going to pull that out. So let's try that. Yeah, so when you pull it on the volume, it definitely goes into a much more kind of like chuggable tone. Yeah, I mean, maybe less output. Obviously, I'm using a very, you know, saturated high gain tone, so we'll try it with less gain. But yeah, when you use the volume and pull it out, definitely a big difference in the humbucker. And then this one would be an added tone, but when, like I said, when I'm playing with so much gain, you're not going to be able to hear it. But it sounds fantastic, just like this, and it sounds really great when you pull it out as well, especially with this type of tone. So let's, yeah, go back to some clean tones, check out these single coils, see what that sounds like. All right, you guys, now let's dial in a little bit of a crunch tone and see what that sounds like. So here are my initial thoughts on this guitar, having just unboxed it and played it with you guys for the very first time. The first thing that I noticed is an impressive array of tones. Humbucker single is just a super versatile layout, and to have the Fishman pickups noiseless, so you're not going to get a bunch of 60 cycle hum, and then you go to the bridge and you've got multiple voicings. It is a very versatile guitar. So with these three pickups, yeah, that's the first thing I noted when I plugged it in. I'm like, man, there's a lot of tones on this, but not in an overwhelming way. Like the single coils are just like a Strat, so that's great. And then when you go to the bridge, you just pick whichever one, you know, fits your style that you're playing. So really nice. And if you don't want to use the different voicings, you don't have to, and it just sounds like a great humbucker. So yeah, and this one has the trem unit. I've used the Cort trem unit many times before. Really nice unit. If you want a pure chuggable guitar, the X700, which is the same model as this, but the Duality, that guitar is amazing for chugging, especially if you have the Evertune bridge. That's the version I tried out. And if you need to lay any sort of rhythm track, whether it's aggressive or not, that guitar keeps you perfectly in tune, and you can't put it out of tune. So it's like the ultimate rhythm, like laying track down guitar. So I would recommend that with the Evertune or fixed bridge. This one's much more expressive, obviously, with the floating bridge. Of course, it's just got like the collar and the set screw. That works so well. So yeah, that's that. 5-way switching and the voicings. Beautiful guitar. Love the natural wood on the back. And yeah, it just gives a very interesting look to have the big bevel up here. It's super duper comfortable and ergonomic. No headstock dive. Like I said, staggered height tuning machines, which is a really nice feature as well. Full lockers, volute, roasted maple neck, and all the details. It's kind of got an open pore finish, I guess I should mention. If you look kind of right in here, you can really see, just because of the way the light is, you can see the grain coming through. So it's kind of like an open pore finish too. So there's a lot going on here. Really nice contour there for the heel joint, recessed of course there. So nothing to impede your left hand there. And of course the satin, very smooth fretwork, great nut. So build quality like the X700 Duality, the Triality is definitely up there. So as with other Cort guitars, it really does come down to you get a lot of bang for your buck. You know, the features on this guitar, I'm looking at the lumen lay dots here as I'm talking. You know, you sort of think, well, it's going to be in the $1,500, maybe $1,800 range just because of how it feels and how it plays. And of course, the Fishman pickups are super high end. And all the other features very high end. But it's much more affordable than that. And that's kind of been Cort's thing. You know, creating guitars for other companies, you know, if it had a different brand name on it from the same factory, built in the same way, there'd be a serious upcharge. But because Cort makes them themselves under their own name, there's some big savings there. It's kind of crazy how much just something different on the headstock would change the price of this exact guitar. And so I really appreciate that about Cort. There's some big savings to be had, and the instrument itself plays beautifully. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Other than that, links to the guitar, all the gear I use, all that stuff is down in the video description below. You can check it out there. Other than that, have yourself a great day. Take care.